Yeah, don't mind me.
I just realized our temp pick, whatever, our fill-in picture is very dark. I mean, but it was the most interesting picture I found from this movie.
What is it?
It's just it's
The old
Don. It's
mom.
Don like making the like chi hands. The grippy.
chans.
Yeah.
Hey, I just got a notification that we're live.
Hey, it worked. Success.
I will not receive a notification, despite the fact that I have manipulated the bell.
You diddled the bell.
I did. Old. I need to mute my computadora.
Mute,
Cow.
mute the compute.
Oh my god, Bob's already here. Oh, that is a very dark picture.
Yeah, like I said, everything else was like very boring and people just standing there. But yeah, it's very dark. Whatever.
Oh, come on.
That's why we have HDR TVs. Not that it matters. Like we're broadcasting HDR.
Yeah.
Now brought to you
If you're
in
playing
Dolby
this
Vision
on your TV, wow.
in Dolby Atmos.
Didn't we consider getting like a 4K camera at some point? We're like, wait, why would we do that?
Well, actually, our only limitation of broadcasting in 4K right now is
the hub.
It's the laptop.
That's right.
I need a display that's in 4K because the way OBS works is it wants to mirror. Like I'm limited to that. This is only a 1080p display on the laptop, and it won't let me broadcast anything higher than what I am capable of outputting.
That's strange.
I know. I tried to bypass it. And it was like, no, you're at your
Right
max. I'm pretty sure if I had a 4K monitor of any size plugged in, it'd be like, all right, cool, Which is something I considered getting, but I will not now for reasons that will be revealed
Oh, I
soon.
think I'm the best lit that I've ever been.
Ooh,
You do look well lit,
you
sir.
are lit AF. Do people still say that?
No.
I don't think so.
Hello, Curtis. Yeah, actually, I would. God, why haven't I not been doing this for the past 50 episodes?
I forgot it's subscribers only mode.
Oh, goddamn.
What?
I'm just commenting on
Oh.
subscribers only mode.
Yeah, it's good though. We had to do it because we just
Yes, the sex bots.
Has anyone ever clicked on one of those?
No,
I mean, like legitimately in the history of Earth,
your Nana did once.
has anyone non-accidentally clicked on one?
No.
But even then, like links don't work through YouTube, so you would have to copy and paste the link.
Right. Nobody's ever actually been horny enough to click on one of those links.
Not even me.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Bonk. Straight to horny jail.
I'm sure there's like a rule in the 30s or 40s that says they exist because somebody has clicked on them or something. Yeah, ergo, I don't know. Those rules don't use things like ergo.
I guess.
It's got to be only accidental clicks.
Yeah,
Well,
it
yeah,
would
yeah.
have to be.
Seriously, nobody's that horny.
Dum Dum Dugan.
PJ has no idea who that is.
No, he was in a movie, so I know who he
you
is.
do?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
He was one of the Howling Commandos.
Yeah,
He
know.
was.
I'm.
He was in the first Captain America.
You're
He
right.
was.
Captain America,
Okay.
Dum Dugan.
the Avenger that came before the others, I believe, is what that movie
Yes,
was
yeah,
called.
he was the first,
The original Avenger.
the first Avenger to arrive at the station. If you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Look, there's Jennifer Garner.
Electra.
Yeah.
Did I really just pull that out of my ass? Yeah.
I mean,
Hey.
it was a kind of a big deal at the time.
That's Nick Cage.
Is that Ghost Man?
Yes.
Ghostface?
The rider of
The
ghosts.
Ghostface motorcyclist?
He rides ghosts.
Yeah.
He's just like boo.
It's Wesley Snipes
That is...
That's a blade.
giving his
He's
famous
a-
quote,
or,
some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Oh God.
That's Blackula.
Hey, it's Jared Leto.
Right, but what's New Blade's name? Marshala
That's
Ali.
Morbius,
I could
right?
all the talking.
It's Morbin time.
The New Blade. It's not gonna be
No
Wesley.
idea.
Mahershala.
Marshala Ali.
I
yeah.
shouldn't say things like that.
Mahershala.
I don't know how to pronounce
It's
it.
Marshala, I believe. Marshala Ali, I believe.
Hey, look. It's Jamie Foxx.
Frozone? I don't know.
Electro.
Electro.
Electro, sure. Frozone is the guy from Incredibles, isn't he?
Yes.
It's
Samuel
Michael
Jackson.
Keaton.
That's
Batman.
That's
Batman.
Vulture.
No, Batman. He's the Batman.
It's Michael Keaton,
Vulture.
the Batman.
Michael Keaton is
He's the bird. He's the
Multiplicity
Birdman.
Man. He's the man of multiplicity.
It's Woody Harrelson.
Carnage.
Yes.
This is bad that I can do this as fast.
It's Alfred Molina.
That's
that's
Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
What
Dr.
else we
Octagon.
got? Oh, this one. Oh shit.
What's bad is
Hey,
like
it's Reese Ifans.
oh my god. Hold on.
I kind of like this game.
Gambit.
No, it's not Gambit. You son of a bitch.
Was he Caliban? When did he play?
No. Lizard.
Oh, right, yeah.
Lizard.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Aha.
Hello, Patrick. We are guessing. For some reason, this is going to be our new shtick. Is we are just guessing
Well,
these.
no.
All right.
Let me pause 1 second and just say that I've started to. They have a skip intro button on What If, and I have to do that because I know who's going to show up in the episode.
Oh no.
Because of the voice casting. Like I'm literally like the most obscure names. I'm like, oh, they got someone. Like Darcy's gonna. Not that Kat Dennings is an obscure name, but I'm just saying Darcy's gonna be a voice in this one. It's like, fuck.
Yep.
You're
All
in
right.
too deep.
This one's a deep one.
All right.
Jon Snow.
Kit Harington. That would be the Black Knight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeez, I have no fucking idea.
That was literally a tease for a thing that hasn't even happened yet.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Kingpin. I mean, it also is how to figure that one's easy, even from afar.
Now we're getting into people we actually know.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's all right. I only failed the Reese Ifans one because I forgot.
Pretty good.
Well, because like the first thing, like what's the original guy that never got to be the Lizard was Dylan somebody.
Oh,
Dylan
yeah,
Baker.
Dylan Baker.
Yeah. Yeah, the Tobey Maguire verse had that guy set up, but he never got to become the Lizard. Oh my God!
Kelsey Grammer.
I developed a drinking problem. The Beast. Notice I put like Ohio State University.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I developed a drinking problem. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to get all these. These are all the famous people. I'm looking at this one, and I don't... Is that... Okay.
Huh?
It's Anthony Mackie.
Oh, the Falcon.
Yeah. It's weird because he's on the ground, not doing like...
Falcon shit.
Falcon shit.
Actually,
Does he even have wings?
here, like look in the back. Let me see. I don't know if that's Falcon or not. I might have to sort through all the cards and find
Oh, actually, I
out.
think that was Black Bolt.
I bet you're right. I bet it is Black Bolt.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I'll figure this out.
Yes, I'll give it to
Oh,
the
I see
authority
what
over
you
here.
did there.
Does he have the little horseshoe thing on his head? I didn't look that close. Does he have a weird little thing on his helmet, in front of his helmet? It's like a trident horseshoe
Oh,
looking
these
thing.
are alphabetical. Duh. Nailed it.
Yay.
Black Bolt.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
It's
BJ
very
didn't recognize him without his signature color scheme,
Right.
which I will have to paint onto him at a future date that is not today or tomorrow or this week.
I guess
Also,
I
good
should have. I'm
fucking
sorry.
luck with that emblem on
I
his head.
apologize for comedy's sake. I'm gonna re-answer. I'm gonna say the answer to that is Black Bolt.
It's too loud.
No.
Black Bolt.
I get that. I get that joke.
Okay.
I get it.
I understood that reference. Let's start with this. There's some good ones in here. I'm assuming that's Psylocke. Okay. I'm putting it away.
That's what she said.
No.
There's some cool ass sculpts, but I am disappointed that Johnny Storm is not
Right.
See,
see-through
what would
orange
you do there?
glowy
Would
material.
you be like, because you could very much confuse me because you'd be like Chris Evans, Michael B. Jordan, and I'd be like, I don't know, Captain America, Killmonger, and you'd be like, no, I meant the Human Torch, and I'm like, fuck.
I almost did that actually. But- oh my god! Box, go down, box. There we go. All right. So, how is everybody? How is your new year? How are you enjoying 2024?
Fine.
Doing good?
Yeah, it's okay.
Doing great?
Less prime than last year.
It is. No, I had a whole week off from work. That was pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. Spend it doing a whole lot of nothing, doing stuff around the house.
Yeah,
Ate a big steak.
I've taken back up GTA Online for some stupid reason.
Oh, what is wrong with you?
I don't know. I think I like misery. I think
That explains it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I living in the society that we live in this society, the society that we live in, I just wanted
this ever-changing world in which
yeah.
we live in.
Yeah. I just wanted to see what video game representation of a terrible economy looked like versus the actual terrible economy that we lived in. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my God, what the fuck? I mean, the economics in that game are just fucked. Like, I mean, like, you spend an hour of doing shit that could be taken away in a nanosecond if someone just bumps you with a car, and then it's like, do that 50 more times and you might be able to buy, a Pinto.
What is a car like?
Yeah.
75 grand or something.
It's just, I mean, just saying, it's insane, like, the amount of money it takes to buy anything fun in that game. And then, the time it takes to make said money.
Well, you could take a
Buy
shortcut
shark
and
cards.
buy shark cards. Yeah.
That's the point.
I did buy GTA Plus, but that's only because I had free money to get it for free anyway. So it didn't give them real money.
I remember we used to play GTA Online when it first launched.
We did.
We had a lot of fun.
Didn't we play it on the Xbox 360?
We did.
Probably.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
that was
how
GTA
long.
5 on the Xbox 360.
It was. Yes,
Yeah.
it's the same game.
Jesus Christ. It ran like shit.
It doesn't now. It runs pretty good now.
Yeah.
Does it run good now?
Series X is pretty,
Yeah,
pretty
the series version is pretty nice. It's got
Yeah.
it can do 60K or 64K with some ray tracing.
And it doesn't take 45 minutes to load in?
No, not really.
No,
I mean,
it's on
there's
that
still,
NVMe drive.
There's still
It still takes a little bit. But
there's still annoying like cutscene bullshit you have to suffer through in the game, but that's the game's fault, not the loading times. Just like walking into a building and it's like, oh, there's that cutscene of my character walking in the building again. There it goes to the initializing screen. Okay. There's the animation of my character walking into the building. It's like, fuck, can we just skip to inside?
yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, when my nephews were here for Thanksgiving, they played GTA. But their mom let them. I was like, whatever. Because I said, I probably wouldn't recommend it. And she's like, they play at their friend's house. Don't even. I was like, okay.
Give them the Toy Story 3 game. How old are they?
Oh, they're like 11 and 9.
Oh, I was going to say,
Yeah.
I mean, the Toy Story 3 game is GTA for kids.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I realized kids, they don't pause the game. Something happens, they just get up and walk away. Just literally just set the controller down and walk away. Didn't matter what game it was. Like when they were playing one of the Calls of Duty. I don't remember which one.
Mm-hmm.
One of the World War II ones, I think.
So what, it just goes into like an endless death loop?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they just like they don't pause the game. They just set the controller down and walk away. I'm like, don't even shut it off. It's like we're eating dinner and I'm hearing something from the back room. I'm like, you just fucking left it? Like you got up and just walked away and left it? I don't know. Maybe this is my sign that I'm old.
Get off my lawn.
But it
That's
just
also
feels,
that's also probably like those kids. I don't think
it just
that's
feels
all
weird
kids.
to me. Like,
Yeah.
just like get up and walk away and just leave it. And it's like, no, pause it. Like, but I guess like nothing feels.
You think we're made of money? You turn the lights off when you leave the
It's
room.
just like I'm like, oh, what if you lose your progress? What do you like?
Oh.
I don't know.
I mean, my brain, my like logical, I have to pay for shit brain that's not a child goes like, let's just wear and tear on your console. Like
Yeah.
that shit ain't cheap.
Yeah, and of course they're in the back on the old plasma TV, which is like, okay, this room's 5,000 degrees, and this thing is using up like gigawatts of energy right now.
Right. It also could be just a carry on from like tablet gameplay when they were young because they grew up playing tablets and you just
Set
go
it
to
down and it
sleep.
goes to sleep.
you just
Yeah.
hit the button.
Maybe.
Yeah,
knows?
it could be that. I don't know. It was like very odd to me that they just never paused anything. Anyway, should we do a podcast?
Yes.
It's 9:05 p.m.
Yes, we should.
Eastern Standard Time.
We should do
Actually,
a
are
whole
we
podcast.
in Eastern Daylight Savings Time right now?
Who knows?
Oh.
No, we are not saving daylight
we're
right
not?
now. So we are in Standard Time.
Oh.
This is the time that people want to keep, and I'm like, no. I get home and I have like half an hour of light. No, give me the summertime.
So wait, this is like what time should be right now?
That is what they claim. Like if they were to do away with daylight saving time, that mean we'd be on this time for forever, because
mean-
parents cry that that their kids are waiting for the bus in the dark. It's like, if you can't fight off a defender, then you don't deserve to live.
Yeah, the first
Grow
rule of
up,
school
kids.
is be able to get to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
learn how to
Kids
learn.
shouldn't be going to
I
school in
understand
the
that, but
dark.
also, like, why the fuck are we forcing kids to be at school at, like, literally 7 a.m.?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so that parents can go to
So,
work.
yeah. So that should be the argument. It's like, okay, if you're going to force all of us to be up, to basically not have sun in December,
Right.
unless you're at work.
Yeah, why don't we just go back to a plutocratic society? You can stay at home and raise the kids, and I don't know.
They need to change the time kids wake up.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I think we just like give kids like learning goggles and just like keep them.
Oh, like the Venture Brothers?
Basically,
sort of thing?
yeah, like a sleep bed,
Yeah.
sort of Superman. They just wake up and they're like 18 and they know shit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
It worked for Hank and Dean so well.
Yeah, I mean,
They turned out great.
Clearly, it's a model of society right there. Gotta stop saying society. All right, let's do a podcast.
We're
Okay.
living in a society.
All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 593.
Hey, that's a number.
Man, that's a lot.
There's a number that keeps going up. So I'm Harlow,
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
and what we do each and every episode of this here Bad Movie Fiends podcast, BMFcast, we go ahead and watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Key in the title there. Then we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. You get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot jocks.
The pinnacle of bad good movies. Good bad movies.
It is.
But
It's pretty good.
there are bad movies. Just don't even bother. They get a negative sliding scale 1 to 5 bags. There's some giant bags of trash.
Ooh.
Get rid of the garbage.
So here we are, just meandering our way through our Blu-ray and DVD libraries.
Yeah.
And occasional 4K.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Very rare.
And we happened upon another Don the Dragon Wilson joint from 1994. This one called Red Sun Rising.
That's correct.
Got that
was his
red
name.
sun rising.
Based on the legend of the Death Touch.
Sure.
At least that's what it said
That
on the title
is the
card.
full accurate title, yes. Like, colon...
Based on the novel Push by Sci-Fi.
movie film for theaters or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. But yes, also starring Terry Farrell, most probably known for Star Trek Deep Space Nine and other shit. Michael Ironside, James Liu, Mako.
Mako.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. What?
You better
Better
get
call
Mako.
Oh, I was like, is there a problem?
No.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Somebody didn't get Mako.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean a couple other people, but
Yeah,
that's,
I mean,
that's the primary
it's
cast.
weird. It's like people you'd recognize randomly.
Yeah.
At least if you watch the sort of shit we've watched for
27 years.
almost 15 years now.
Yeah.
And before. It does have Borat's cousin or whatever.
Oh, that was him, wasn't it?
Yep.
I mean, God, the beginning of this movie, I was like, I know that guy from somewhere too, and my brain was just like, oh, he must have been on the Jack Ryan TV show because he just seems like a guy that would have been on that show.
You've seen that man's buttocks.
Yeah,
At least if you've seen Borat.
yeah. Movie, subsequent film first.
Yeah.
Talking about weird colon, subtitles.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Man, like how to even discuss the plot because it's weird.
yeah.
It's really weird. It's like they had 2 movies and they just mashed them together.
Well, okay, so there was that Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes movie called Red Sun. Was that the same year or nearby?
No, that was like 90. That was like 87.
Before?
I thought. Yeah.
I mean, it was before this, right?
Well, actually, no, it would have been 87. But
I mean, I
Now-
don't
now
think
you're
it's.
gonna make me look
I
this
don't
up.
think that's like a super well remembered movie or anything. It's just a movie of its time. But as I recall, like the plots.
it was 93. It was a year before.
Yeah, I feel like the plots are kind of similar. I mean, I remember that had something to do with like sex crimes and stuff like
Well,
that.
I will
and-
tell you, I've never seen Rising Sun.
Okay.
So I can neither confirm
But
or deny.
I seem to remember what the point of that was basically like cops have to go to like another I don't know if they actually went to Japan or they just went to like Little Tokyo, like kind of situation. Like I don't. Yeah, but I seem to remember it was a very similar, like cops are in the wrong place, fish out of water scenario was what the main focus of that movie was, which is just strange to like borrow most of its title and kind of its plot too. But I guess that's what movies like this did.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you remember that? You might watch this on video too.
Yeah. So Don the Dragon Wilson is a Tokyo cop.
Yeah, they're just stakeout. They're on a stakeout of this place for a Yakuza boss, I guess, is what they're waiting
Something
for.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And partner, he's just got the,
he's got the goofy guy partner.
He's got the goofy guy's gonna die partner, like because he's like,
Well,
I'm out. I'm so horny. I'm out here more nights with you than I am with my wife.
Yeah, he broke the cardinal rule of talking about family in a cop movie.
Right. Yeah. Well, on the job. I mean, I think you can talk about your family when you're at home. Well, maybe unless the movie like shows a barbecue, because that's bad. Don't invite the film crew to the family barbecue if you want to make the end of the movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But this we don't really know what's going on.
Not really.
But Don realizes that people are getting killed, so he has to go in early, even though they've called for backup.
Yeah,
because
the person
guy has shown up.
Yeah, the person they were waiting for has shown up. They're calling for backup. He's apparently the loose cannon hothead that always goes in without waiting for backup, but he's promised he's going to this time until he hears, I think, someone getting.
I think he hears a gunshot.
Well, yeah, or
something.
maybe a defenestration through if it can be a defenestration through a paper window. I don't think it can. I think the glass has to be involved.
Allow it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But yeah,
it's a window.
Yeah,
it's a window.
Yeah. But this is when we're introduced to Jaho,
that's James Liu, right?
Who is James Liu, and who is kind of like your main bad guy.
Am I misremembering that he got a introducing James Liu credit at the beginning of this movie? Even though he'd been making movies for about 10 years before this?
Maybe this
might
was
have been
his
a
first
featuring.
American.
I think it was
somebody got it.
I think it was an introducing because I was like,
if you check the crazy credits, it might say
This can't be the first movie he was in because
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
think so.
it wasn't.
But
by a long shot.
He when he first comes in, he looks a little Tommy Wiseau-ish.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah,
because he's got that long weird hair, and
he has an awkward walk.
Yeah,
and a black leather jacket that he probably financed the movie with somehow.
Yep, but either way, he's in there just murking dudes, and he's also with some kind of Yakuza boss, but we don't really realize that that's him at first.
It's very confusing as to who's who and what's happening here,
because he's just murdering dudes, and he's basically murdered everyone when and Don ends up having to fight everyone outside. And it's your excuse to get a good action scene in the beginning. But also, Don keeps fighting dudes with weapons. Like, the dudes come at him with a katana and sais and the bow staff and,
full complement.
Yeah, he's got the full Ninja Turtle going after him. And he keeps disarming them or, like, even getting the weapon from them and then just tossing it on the ground.
Yep.
Like, when he does get the bow staff, he beats the hell out of those two guys. Like, wrecks them.
Yeah. And
then immediately chucks it away and runs back.
It's like Double Dragon rules. Double Dragon, the video game. You just
it started flashing.
Yeah,
you
I was
get
going to
two
say,
hits.
it's like Zelda now. It's like you get like 3 hits, and it's like, oh, sorry, that bow staff's broken now.
Yeah, and I mean, he should have, if he wanted to survive that fight, he should have grabbed a floor chicken at some point.
Just beat up a trash can. There's a pizza inside.
His pizza flips open. Yeah. But he ends up just kicking the crap out of like 20 guys outside and finally gets inside and just suddenly has a katana out of nowhere, and he has to fight James Liu, who kind of beats his ass immediately.
Pretty much. I mean, he's like immediately doing like the death touch, like, dead legging him and stuff. Like, oh, this arm doesn't work.
Yeah, he's doing the pressure point thing.
He's like, what are you going to do, bleed on me by the end? He's just like sitting on the floor like, I can't move.
Yeah. He's kind of just sitting there waiting to die, basically.
Yeah, and I think he's actually, I don't think it's James Liu. I think it's the Yakuza guy from the James Bond movie. We looked it up. He's from Man with the Golden Gun, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he's about to like do a kill stroke with the sword, and that's when the partner comes in and shoots the sword out of his hand.
Out of his hand.
Yep.
Yeah. And then so James Liu's like, oh well, I was gonna have let him murder you, but I'm gonna do this funky 5-finger death punch.
Well, and he also like this is the first point where he has like these hypnotism powers, where he can just look at somebody's eyes and they just kind of stop doing whatever they're doing because he's got his partner's got the gun on him, and he just walks up and just has him hand him the gun.
Yeah, and his eyes turn blue or sort of a violet blue.
Yeah. And
he's a blue-eyed devil.
Yeah, and that's when he does the death punch thing where he's basically like, I'm gonna hit him. First, the pain's going to come, and then his heart's going to stop, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, Don the Dragon Wilson. Haha, I am evil.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he does. He just kind of but he does a poke at his heart, and that's when they do the little rotoscope effect where it's like,
yeah, he's kind of got like the evil glow.
Yeah. But that apparently zaps him in the heart, and then they just kind of walk out. And by that time, Don has finally recovered.
Yeah, they're climbing back in their Bentley or whatever it was, Rolls Royce, and they're coming out he's helping his friend out, like, come on, we can still get him, and that's when he's just like, tell my wife I love her.
Yeah, he does the Kill Bill, really. I mean, it's the 5-point death punch or whatever they called it, but yeah, where he just kind of gets outside, is about to shoot him, and he's like, and just kind of crumples.
Yep.
Spits up blood, and Don, and as he's literally just laying there dead, Don's like, "Hey, no, don't die, not yet. No, don't do that." And it's like, "Sorry, bud.
You need to try harder, Don."
Yeah, it would have helped if you had been able to help earlier, before he got death punched,
or perhaps waited for backup. But why would he do that? Because he wants to live, and he wants his partner to live. And he wants his partner's wife to not be a widow.
Well, mission not accomplished.
That would be a boring movie.
Yeah.
Well,
then again, they could have. Yeah. Anyway, his partner's dead. 4 months later, boom, he's in L.A. Everyone's aggressively an asshole towards him.
Yeah, this is the early '90s, like super passive aggressive open racism era.
Yeah.
Especially towards Asians.
Yeah.
It's over the top.
It is a bit over the top.
Even
I mean, even
that,
by
there's
that
not much
era.
passive aggressiveness.
No, it's pretty in your face aggressive actually most of the time, especially the one asshole cop who might be the only good guy. I don't know. Everyone has a weird face and heel turn 15 times in this movie. So.
Yeah, the asshole, the real asshole cop is a real asshole to him, but also our co-star is a real asshole to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, technically, yes.
An incredible asshole.
Yeah.
Well, her reasoning is
it's
It's
slightly more sound, but it's
also a stretch.
It's a stretch, yes. I mean, it is definitely a stretch.
Yeah, where she doesn't like the Japanese because her dad worked at GM making cars, and they shut down the factory the year before he was supposed to retire, and he lost his job because of the Japanese.
Right. And not only that, he then had to go work in a liquor store that got held up, so he got shot by a robber, and that's why she became a cop.
Yep.
So that's Terry Farrell's backstory.
Yep.
Tragic.
And also, she had to leave Flint.
That's your Dax facts.
Yeah. She had to leave Flint, Michigan. She just couldn't stay there.
Yep. It's water.
Because every time she took a shower, the water caught fire.
Yeah, it's just there were spots in the tub and all over her. So.
Has anything been done about that, or is Flint,
really.
Flint still just
no.
hell on earth right now?
I mean, it's still
water
sucks.
wise.
It still sucks.
And no one's been held responsible, have they?
No, of course not.
America.
That's because Detroit's the former fictional state of Detroit. Used to care about.
Yeah. RoboCop would have fixed the water in Flint.
That's true.
All by himself.
All by himself. But anyway, yeah. So that's her story. But that's why she doesn't like Japanese people.
Yes.
And somehow he's there because they're arresting the Yakuza boss that was there when his buddy got killed.
Yeah, I don't know how he's already been arrested. Like he's there to oh, you've got him in custody. I need to question him. And immediately you're like, no jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Until
he shows a badge and they're just like, we don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he pulls he killed my partner, and they're like, all right, you can have 5 minutes in the elevator while we're taking him up. And the assassin dude is hanging out in the elevator, slightly in disguise. I guess he's got a hat on. Yeah. But yeah, because he
well, it's very weird because it's like they keep cutting to him, but like in the long shot of the elevator, you don't necessarily see him.
Right.
But they keep cutting to his eyes, and you see him like looking around, like
Yeah. But he gives what we think he gives the death touch to this dude, which kind of further complicates the plot for a couple minutes because I was still not very clear on his role. Like, honestly, with him being the main person that was shown in the whole action scene, I thought he might be the Yakuza guy. I mean, he's younger, but he's clearly a badass, so why would he not be in charge? It just feels like the kind of organization where the top badass might be in charge.
Well, that's the whole weird thing about that dude is it's like why is
this guy taking orders from
why
him?
is Ninja Superman listening to this guy?
Maybe he has no money sense, and this guy's all, he's just like, I'll be the muscle, and you
It's
do all the
whole
plotting.
respective age thing.
Maybe he taught him. Maybe this guy is secretly his master too. We would have found out in Red Sun Rising Again,
Right.
Or Rises
Red
Again.
Sun Re-Rising.
Yeah.
Red Sun Redemption.
Yeah, Red Sun Setting might be the next one. I don't know.
Red Sun Revolver.
Yeah. But anyway, he is in the elevator and Don is basically like, yeah, well, I'm just going to start sending gifts to you in prison, and they're going to know that you flipped. And he's like, nobody's going to believe that. You know that. And he's like, oh, well, we're going to find out, aren't we? And, he's basically just kind of... But he's also doing this in Japanese, so everyone else in the elevator
But
is
half Japanese. Like, half Japanese, half
God
English.
Damn that half Japanese. But
Do it to me every time.
God damn those half Japanese Dons.
But yeah, so it is weird because it's like it'll pop up subtitled, and then Don's like, I'm just sick of speaking Japanese, so I'm just going to speak normally.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
And that's the other casual racism thing in this movie where they're just like, whenever he comes up, everyone's like, ha ha, you Chinese or Japanese, ha ha ha. And it's like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I speak English pretty well, thanks.
That was kind of socially acceptable for like 6 months in 1941.
Yeah. But I mean, it's very, like, because she does it to him too.
Oh, I know.
she does
I'm
to
just
a big
saying.
Yeah, and it's like, you're our heroine? What the fuck is going on here? But anyway, they have their argument, or kind of, and then he says something in his ear, and I forget what the subtitle was, but that's when the Yakuza guy kind of like jumps into him, and that's when he gets death touched by the other guy.
Right.
And I thought they were going to do a whole like, oh my God, you poisoned him. How did you kill him? And thankfully they don't go for that. They're just like, what the fuck did you say to him?
Yeah.
And to give him a heart attack.
Yeah.
He's like, I was just telling him I was going to take away his honor. It wasn't a big deal.
Right.
Yeah. But so this guy's dead. And they're like, okay. And you never even see the ninja leave.
No, it just...
Because he's a ninja, but still,
ninja, but
Surprised we saw him at all.
Yeah. But from here, this just starts this whole thing where she has to babysit him because now the feds are involved because he got killed.
Yeah, like he's the Fed guy shows up and is basically like, you're the only person that's seen his hitman and lived. So we need you to look through mugshots and stuff, and you can't leave just yet. Because like they were ready to put him on a plane and like, you get the fuck out of here tonight.
Yeah.
And this guy shows up and is like, you're going to look through mugshots and stuff, and Terry Farrell, you're going to babysit him. And Michael Ironside, who's the captain we've just now been introduced to, is the police captain. Mm-hmm. We've had a couple scenes of other police things before he showed up. I kind of kept wondering when he was going to. But
yeah, and here's where the two plots thing happens, where like they had two movies and they just merged them because there's two gangs, L.A. early 90s, got to be gangs.
Purples versus oranges.
Yeah, they very carefully color coded as well.
Right.
To not be red or blue. But purples
just be slightly like one shade off of both.
yeah. But the purples and the oranges, and they don't get along. But the I don't know if it's the mayor or like a councilman or somebody, but he has arranged a meeting between the two. But it's not happening for like 3 weeks.
I think it's the councilman.
Yeah. But it's like a city councilman has arranged this, and so they're like, we need to keep the peace until then. So we need this guy to get the fuck out of here because we don't need him dealing with any of this.
Right.
And it turns out that the Yakuza and the ninja guy are just stirring up shit so they can sell more guns.
Right.
And they're basically trying to stoke a gang warfare thing.
Yeah.
So they're doing like false flag killings.
Yeah, they've gone in and like murdered the local priest in the the orange gang, the
Hispanic gang,
the Hispanic
basically.
gang, basically,
and then the purple gang is the black gang.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
that because
They're
again, early 90s.
Yeah, I remember the purple guys are called the Icemen. I don't remember what the other guys were
Yeah.
called. They only said their name like once or twice, I feel like.
Yeah, but
they
they do
kept saying
establish
Iceman all the time.
they do establish that she has a relationship at least with the Spanish gang.
Right. Like I guess she was somebody who kind of got help saved by the priest guy, so she's from the neighborhood, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Except that she's from
they
Flint.
just
I don't
established
No,
that
she's from Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the kind of girl she is. She doesn't discriminate at all against people based on their
whereas
their
all the other
race.
cops are basically like, let those animals kill each other, and it's like, fuck all of you. But
Yeah, she's so tolerant of other people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except for the Japanese.
I'm tolerant of
Yeah,
everyone.
the only thing I can't stand are people that are intolerant of other people's culture and the Japanese.
Right.
Yep, that is exactly her.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So they show that she gets along with them, and she doesn't want gang warfare, obviously, but she also doesn't want to have to babysit Don the Dragon Wilson for the rest of this movie because she justifiably thinks she has bigger fish to fry. Like if she can do something to help prevent an all-out gang war, she's going to try and do that.
Yeah.
Instead, she has to babysit Don.
Right. But surprise, the Yakuza guy wasn't dead all along. They've just basically given him the Romeo poison or the Juliet poison. I don't remember who took the temporary poison thing to like wake up later, and he just basically goes and like undoes his little finger punch in the morgue. And,
he like magics over him. And
I mean,
wakes him
there's
up.
smoke and stuff too, and chi and I don't know, but
He had those little incense
but
triangles.
they pulled this as a double duty, so I didn't realize this at the time. So like, not only did they fake this guy's death to, I don't know, put the blame somewhere else, I guess, I don't know, but they also were like, hey, you know whose body's also in the morgue? The priest we killed earlier. So like when they were in there resurrecting the guy, they put a bunch of the Iceman's graffiti tags all over the morgue, killed a bunch of like the Quincy guy and a bunch of other dudes there, and sorry, old man reference. Like sprayed their stuff and then took the priest's body and like crucified him back at their church or something. Like,
yeah, well, it's like half an hour later this comes back.
Yeah, I mean, it is a while later that it's like, oh, by the way, while they were there, they took the priest's body again. Yeah, because like the assassin dude's like showing driving around with him, it's just being a psychopath.
Yeah, so.
He's an excitable boy. Sorry.
Yeah, so eventually and the thing is, Don is just like, I'm going to find him. I'm going to figure out where he is. And he happens to go exactly where he is, because there's one point where he goes to a club, and she's like, you don't want to go in there, because it's basically all the Icemen and him in there. And so, but he goes in the club anyway, and it's like, all right, everyone immediately wants to fight you.
Right.
I mean, it does everything but the record scratch when he walks in. I mean, they don't bother with that, but it might as well have.
Okay, but we also have to talk about how he thinks he's going to fit in.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's, it's early 90s. You're wearing like the baggiest suit on earth.
Sure.
And all he does is he takes his jacket off and then unbuttons his shirt like down to his navel.
That's the style.
And then just starts walking around like she's like, you're not going to blend in. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'm going to blend in.
There's a reason they call people stuffy shirts. It's stuffy if it's buttoned all the way to the top.
Maybe he's just like,
you got to let your chest breathe, man.
Or he was just like, look at me, I'm not wearing a wire. You can tell. I don't know, but
whatever he's trying
either
to
way,
do,
his
fails
disguise
miserably.
it's terrible because immediately he has to break a beer bottle over some guy's head.
That's what's great is like he just saunters in and everyone's giving the death stare basically like, why are you in this place? He walks up and like orders beer. I don't know why the bartender bothers to serve him, but he does, and the person next to the bar just like grabs the beer, like does the blow the cigarette out in his face thing, and just immediately he's like, grab the bottle, smash, and it's just like, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, Don is the one who starts the fight.
I mean, he starts the Donnybrook,
yeah,
the Wilson Brook, but yeah,
and then beats the hell out of a bunch of people until, of course, the ninja assassin is like, oh, hey, you're here.
Yeah, I think the other Yakuza dude is there as well.
Yeah, they're having a whole meeting with the head of the Icemen.
That's right.
About, all right, here's how we're going to get you your guns and help you take care of all those other guys.
I thought she broke this fight up. I thought she came in and was like...
She did.
Because she comes in and was like...
What happens is he beats the hell out of like 10 people. Mm-hmm. And then Ninja Assassin comes in and is like, oh, it's you, Death Touch. And Don's like writhing on the floor. And then the ninja is about to kill him when she walks in, shoots the gun, and tells all of those people she's arresting the ninja and the Yakuza guy because they're secretly KKK members.
Or doing deals with the KKK. I don't think she was trying to sell them that they were part of the KKK. Because
I think even so, because later in the movie they're like, KKK members, I don't think so. You lied to us.
Yeah. I mean, that shouldn't have been a hard...
Sure.
I'm just saying, like... Iceman, I mean, look, I know gang members aren't super smart, but I think they should be able to spot that lie. by two Japanese members being members of the
I agree.
Just right off the bat.
Yeah.
But when a gun goes off next
All
to your
right.
head, you might get a little bit scared.
Sure.
You know.
But how did they get away from her at that point then?
I don't know. Doesn't she just drag him back to Mako's house? And
Yeah,
he,
I
like,
think they just
on
go outside
healing?
and they book it and they take off. And yeah, and we haven't even talked about Mako because that's where when Ironside told her babysit him, he's like, "Oh, well, we have to go see my mentor. He's a very serious priest."
My brain is broken because I'm still an old man reference. I was like, I don't know who was the guy in the wheelchair. Like, I'm like, you meant
Ironside,
fucking Michael Ironside.
Michael Ironside.
Yes, sorry.
Put some flourish on it. But he's like, oh, but he was my old priest master. He taught me a lot of things. He's a serene man of, great wisdom. And it's Mako, and he's wearing like a T-shirt with a dancing banana on it.
It's a T-shirt that, well, it's a happy peeled banana on the front, and on the back it says, "I'm the big banana." and of course, like green and pink neon because that's the colors of the 90s.
Right.
Yeah. And he opens the door and he's like, "Master," and he's like, "Don, hey!"
Yeah,
And
Mako's a lush
Yeah.
at least in this movie. I'm not going to go on record.
Sure.
maybe whatever.
Don't want to besmirch the man.
he's a man who's enjoying life.
Yeah.
Because, he has two assistants who are basically hot early 90s chicks.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is like he would be Don the Wilson's drunk uncle, except the movie plot is like, no, he's actually the dad or uncle of the partner guy.
Yeah.
Who also taught Don when he was a kid or whatever. But yeah, I'm just like, it's a weird extra layer of like that. Just make him his uncle.
Yeah.
It's easier.
And once again, two plots. This is the other plot is basically he has to Mr. Miyagi him into learning the touch.
Mm-hmm. I mean, literally gives him like the same headband from the Karate Kid, and I was just like, "Oh, thank you, Daniel-san."
Daniel-san, yeah.
Yeah, and so this is what's going to be the running subplot in the background is him just training Don the Dragon Wilson, and he explains to him because he gets involved in it. They bring Don back after that fight where he's been death touched, and she's like, he did something to him. I don't know what it is. He hit him in the back, and they look and they go, oh, we have to heal him. All this, and that's when he explains to Don that, oh, he's your polar opposite. You're true good, and he's chaotic evil.
Right.
And
you're Luke, he's Darth. Let's get it on.
yeah, not even that. He's just he's evil. He has no redeeming qualities, whereas you are good and have all the redeeming qualities. And but you need to learn to focus. You need to learn to train yourself.
You need to learn the power of the glow.
Yeah, pretty much. Got to learn the glow.
Yeah, and this is where the awkward romance begins because he's also getting an ice bath post his healing, and this is where she just like comes in and is like making lots of shriveled or shrinkage jokes. But yeah, it's a weird flip. I mean, it's
weird
just
ass music cue too.
that
like,
too. Yeah.
Like this is one of those movies that's jarringly edited because people's behaviors from scene to scene shift wildly.
Yeah.
Like, she could be sitting outside the room and then acting one way, all morose and, oh my God, is he going to die? And then literally the next scene is her going, hey, look at your little dick in your ice bath, buddy.
Jesus.
It's like, what the, like,
Yeah.
which usually I like, but this one, it's so like, it's such a swing between scenes that
I feel like
it's
this
jarring.
was like probably less than 5 actual minutes before the scene where she was just like being openly, like super openly racist to him, like and then gave her sad Flint story, sob story, whatever thing to justify it, and it's just like, and now she's like, whatever, I could see your dick. I had brothers, like, it's like,
Does
okay.
that justify?
I don't know. I
But
don't know.
very
there's
weird
just
thing.
there's also like this weird jaunty music in the background as well, where it's
Yeah.
just like that doesn't fit in this movie. I don't understand what's happening here.
That is one of the things that I feel like this movie falls on its face so many times for trying to do something humorous.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps just like none of these people have a sense of comedic timing
no.
whatsoever.
Don is one of the least funny people on earth.
Sure, yeah.
The man can kick your ass. He can do
Yeah.
an action scene. He can do a jump kick. He can sell that stuff. He can flex really well and look good, but he does not have a funny bone in his body.
No. And neither does what's her name?
Terry,
Dax.
yeah, Terry Farrell.
Yeah. Harry
Mako
Farrell.
does.
Harry Farrell.
Mako's a funny dude.
Mako's funny.
kind of funny.
Mako's funny, but I don't know if he's supposed to be. Like that's the thing is like he's overacting the shit out. Like
the tone doesn't feel right for him either. So it's like the timing is all off.
I mean,
weird.
we're skipping around in the plot a little bit, which we do all the time. But there is one scene where Mako is like trying to. Oh, it's way later in the film. I just remembered what it's for. But he's like trying to like help him channel chi, but he is sitting in the background doing what looks like a shit squat.
He is really.
I mean, it looks.
He's digging deep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it very much looks like a shit squat that people do in those kind of toilets. I'm just saying, like, but then he's just acting like, come on, and so it just looks like he's in the background shitting furiously.
They said the squatty potty worked. It doesn't.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's like I said, he's kind of providing the most humor, but that's because he's just. I mean, there's one line that he says, I don't even know what he says because he's so sloshed. He's like, all right, well, let's do this kampai, and it's like,
when
okay,
they're like toasting to the dead.
It's just like I was like, I got the kampai because whenever he said it before that, it was just like, okay,
But this movie has a lot of sequences of them just showing up right as Ninja Guy is murdering somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm surprised it takes them as long as it does in the movie to finally get to, hey, we're going to frame one of you guys for this. Because they get to the town councilman's office, and Ninja Guy has shown up and just beat the shit out of his guards and chucked him out the window.
Yes.
I mean, I'm paraphrasing the whole sequence, but that's basically what happens. Because this guy, like the ninja, I wish I'd kept track of how many people he kills.
It's a lot.
Because it's
a fair amount.
Every scene he appears in, he murders somebody.
Yeah, and there's collateral damage.
Somebody is getting murdered.
There's a lot of collateral damage. There's that one Asian woman that in the beginning that gets murdered just for being there.
Yeah.
There's always somebody around that for him to snap a neck.
I will say the secretary for the councilman.
That was a good match cut.
Fantastic match cut.
Yeah.
Because he does his whole hypnotism
he's basically
thing.
got the Dracula stare. Like
and,
he can just like basically can like women are just like, oh, well, even men too. But he's like, I am under your spell, master.
Yeah,
and,
but they show him he's got his hands and he's like putting them around her head, and she's kind of like in this trance, and they show him kind of like gripping down.
Yeah,
and then they immediately cut to the car door slamming, so you just hear the of the door slamming,
like a big old giant American GM door.
Yeah, of them downstairs coming in. But I was like, okay, that's good. Yeah. That is what you want. Yep. And then of course as they're going up the stairs, and I guess they're fighting people in the lobby and shit on the way in, because he's always got like teams of thugs.
Yeah, he always has his their random fake gangsters that are helping stage the whatever bullshit, like spraying the graffiti and whatever else. Yeah.
But they're just fodder for Dawn to jump kick and fight, because she refuses to shoot anybody. Because we've noticed that, like she will have a guy at gunpoint and just not do anything, even though he's attacking.
I mean, does anyone get shot in this movie? I mean, it's not really a shooting
movie.
Yeah,
like the spoiler alert, the super racist cop gets shot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, like, I don't think there's like any like people,
the good guy.
I don't think anyone gets shown being shot. Like in the movie, I think it's always like cut to like
actual
one guy at the end.
Actual good guy cop at the end gets shot.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, maybe it was like,
or maybe not actual.
No, actual bad guy cop. The good guy cop gets shot. The asshole racist cop who's actually a good cop is shot by a crooked cop.
Right. I'm saying,
but off camera. But then crooked cop gets shot later.
Does get shot.
I believe by Michael Ironside, if I'm not totally mistaken. No, he gets shot by the FBI dude.
Yeah, because somebody's trying to shoot.
But yeah, I'm just saying it's honestly probably a squib budget thing, because I mean, like, they're kind of dangerous, and if you fuck up, you have to have like multiple sets of wardrobe, because like if you fuck up, it's like you got to put a whole other shirt on and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it's a budgetary thing.
Yeah.
More than likely.
But as they're fighting their way up to the councilman's office, they just show the councilman going out the window head first, like just going down to the concrete, just doing a swan dive straight.
And
down.
then the local news just had the uncovered body on the news.
Yeah.
like fresh on the sidewalk, and it's just like, really?
Man, I love local news in movies.
They just show anything. Like,
well, yeah, and also like their interviews are like, we're gonna let this person rant for 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I've been interviewed for the news like 3 times now, and they basically cut it down to like me saying 3 words out of the 2 minutes, 3 however long they spoke to me.
Right.
It's cut down to like, yeah, that was crazy, and like that's the quote they use out of the entire thing.
I saw a body.
But yeah, but if
You'd
I
be
was
on the
if
news
I was in
more
a
if you said
movie,
more than that.
they would have had my whole rant on.
Right. Your whole rant about burning CDs.
That wasn't a rant. That was an instructional video.
While we're off the rails just for a second,
Yeah.
I have to share my favorite like local news interview ever was here in our local wonderful city of Jacksonville, Florida. That they I think they found drugs that had washed into the Intracoastal River or waterway. It's not really, it's whatever it is. It's close to it's connected to the ocean.
Yeah.
It's different. It's weird.
Yeah.
But like drugs that were supposed to be dropped offshore had washed into the Intercoastal waterway and were like, going by homes, and they found some person that was like, I was staying out here by the water and I thought I saw a body, but it turns out it was a bag of dope. It's just like, and I was like, that's so good.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so glad you brought that flavor to the broadcast. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, they knew as soon as they got that quote,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah,
I thought it was a body. It was a bag of dope.
Bag of dope.
Yep. But anyway, yes, the news shows up and it's just like, hey, check that shit out.
Right.
Dead councilman right here, bloody mess. And yeah, but they've already left. I think do they even confront him at that point, or is he just getting away somehow?
I don't even know at this point. I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of scenes end with like somebody getting slightly death punched or touched, and then having to run away and get healed.
Yeah. Well, it happens with her later. 'Cause
Yeah, I
she
know.
goes back to this office for some reason.
Right.
But yeah, like they find out the councilman's dead.
Her watch.
Yeah, that's right.
Back.
They had to jump out. This is where they jumped out of the window.
That's right.
Yeah, and landed in the garage.
That's
pile,
right.
yeah.
Because they get in a fight and they're able to take the guns away,
Mm-hmm.
but then they just leave the guns on the floor because God forbid you actually brandish a weapon at any point in this movie, and
Right.
save yourself. And yeah, they have to jump out the window and land in a dumpster. And then they come out and they land right next to the dead.
Right. They
Yeah. And at this point, like the news shows up, and then the cops show up, and they're like arresting them. They're like, "You were right there. It was you." And that's.
Well,
And
no,
then
the gang member is the guy that showed the Iceman
Yeah,
guy is
that's
the one
right.
that shows up, and
he's like, "You killed him."
I don't understand this motivation at all. Like why he's jumping. Everyone is jumping to a lot of conclusions in this
Yeah.
movie. Like as far as like the Yakuza's plan of
This is when
causing
he
war.
calls her out on the KKK thing. He's
Yeah.
like, "KKK, they weren't KKK. We figured it out."
Yeah, I'm
And
just
he's
saying,
like, "And why'd you kill him?"
We put
And-
our best men on it.
yeah, and she's like, he's like, "Why'd you kill him?" She's like, "I didn't kill him. Why would I kill him? He's trying to stop the gang warfare. I want to stop the gang warfare. Why would I kill him?" And then
Right.
this is when somebody. Then this is.
this might be when the Fed shows up. or
Yeah, the
somebody
Fed just shows up and is like, "Let him go."
I got this. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're basically start arresting the gang member and
Right.
just tells them,
It's
"Hey, go lay low."
it's just a convenient out for the scene because it makes no sense. Like
Yeah.
I mean, the police are doing a lot of jump to conclusions too. They're just
Sure.
like I can't believe that I didn't see it was you that murdered the priest, stole his body, did this all while you were standing in my office. It's like, with any like shred of like investigation, like all of these things,
Well, also,
all these conclusions.
99% of the cops are crooked. So
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it just with like even like half a second of thinking, any of these conclusions they've jumped to are invalid. I mean, it's just like I said, like the 2 Asian guys being members of the KKK.
Right.
Yeah.
So is this where they go back to Mako's house and
It's probably when he finishes the training and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's another
well,
long training.
So
montage.
there's a few things.
Oh, and they also decide to fuck, but yeah.
Yeah. There's a few things because at some point she gets suspended. I think right after that with the councilman because Michael Ironside's like, "It's like goddamn Beirut wherever you go. What the hell?" And suspends her for like first it's a week, and then she keeps mouthing off, and she gets a month, and she gets kicked off the force. Has to turn in a Badger gun. Does not get called a loose cannon, sadly, but so that happens with her. Also, the Yakuza guy's like, "Hey, they actually kind of like fucked up our thing. Like they're gonna have peace. We gotta stir the pot here." And so, Ninja Assassin follows one of the gang leaders of the Icemen, and eventually, that guy pulls over and is like, "What the fuck's going on, man?" And he's like, "This is what's going on," and pulls out a rocket launcher
Yeah.
and blows up his car.
Yeah, we skipped right over the not quite pimp funeral earlier. That was one of his
Oh
first.
God,
his
yeah,
his
one of the first hits.
One of his first bits of redemption. Like I think this was after the priest. I think this was the second bit. Like maybe this guy had gotten killed as retaliation
Yeah,
for the priest. I think maybe, but anyway, like a gang member had gotten
They
killed.
did not explain that well
they
at
didn't,
all.
They didn't explain it, but his sister
yeah.
is
This
there.
is like the first thing
Yeah.
when they're in LA.
The sister is there crying at the grave. We don't know it's a sister at the time. This is facts are given later. Anyway, like the other guys are like, well, we were going to give her a minute to go back to the car, and I guess they were literally only going to give her a minute because they're like, wow, she's still there, and they go back, and we have seen that the assassin guy showed up and brandished this tiny little. It's the I can never remember the name. The tiny
The
katana.
second knife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
this-
Wachowski.
Wakazaki.
Yeah, the Mia Wachowski.
Yeah,
Yeah,
her.
Yeah, but anyway, like so he brandished that, but like they come back and find that she's had her head cut off and like put on the like rest in peace
On the grave,
banner, like
yeah.
like
Yeah,
right
on
on
the
the
grave.
grave, like on the
On the
flowers.
flowers, yeah.
Yeah,
It's very disrespectful.
yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. Like,
So he continues to disrespect.
yeah.
Yes,
Every
so-
scene he shows up in, someone dies.
yeah,
Yes.
But yeah,
Disrespectfully.
But I'm also trying to think, how many movies have we seen somebody blow up a car with a rocket launcher?
Not enough.
It's a lot.
472.
not enough.
And you know what? It never gets old.
It's still not enough. It could be in every movie, and it wouldn't be enough.
It hasn't been all of the movies, and that's a
Yeah.
problem.
I mean,
I mean, what have we been doing for 593
I would
episodes?
rather watch Dora the Exploder than, than anything else. Like I'm just saying, like yeah, like,
But he blows that up, and then he gets back in the van, and that's when he looks over. He's like, "That was pretty good, wasn't it? We should do some more. We should have some more fun, shouldn't we?" And he looks over, and it's the priest's dead body.
Mm-hmm.
And then they cut to the next morning where he's on a cross
inside the church, like,
inside a church. It's like, God damn.
basically just like propped up on the pews too.
Like-
Like it's not even like on like the the ceremonial cross that would be at a
Yeah,
church.
Mako was not joking about this
No,
guy like
they-
being full evil.
Like they brought their own cross,
Yeah.
and then just laid it in the pews. Just-
yeah. So anyway, so that's how they've stoked the gang warfare again.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's when she like talks with some of them. They're like, she's like, "You guys, come on! Like this is crazy. This is not." And she's told them, she's like, somebody is playing you both because they didn't do this. You guys didn't blow up his car. They didn't kill him. You know, it's
Right.
It's
Why are you not putting these simple pieces together?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and she's like, you guys just have to wait another week until the summit. And it's like, why did this guy schedule the summit for like a month from now?
He's a very busy councilman.
I mean, yeah, government works pretty slow.
And what even happens at a gang summit?
A gang moot. I don't know.
Yeah, like what?
It takes a long time to have a gang moot.
I mean, what would they? I don't know what the procedure would be. Like what the?
Everybody leaves their guns at the door, and then you have this.
I mean, did
this
they-
ceremonial cheek kissing?
Do they both present a PowerPoint? I mean, what the fuck do they do
No,
with
everybody.
these things?
It's like, you know how in like sports games where everybody walks by and they shake hands. You know,
Good game,
after
good game, good game.
Oh,
They
yeah.
do that, but before, and they kiss each other on the cheek a bunch.
Oh.
It's very sweet. Yeah,
I think I'd like it.
yeah, you would.
I should go to a gang summit sometime.
You should.
Well, I think we have to get into gang first.
Yeah.
Oh,
We can jump you in tonight if you'd like.
let me think on it.
All right. Well, the offer's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so she tries to talk them out of it. They're like, no, you need to figure this shit out. And that's when I guess the one girl who's her informant kind of comes over and meets with them and is like, hey, listen, they're gonna big shit's gonna go down this day. You got to make something happen before then if you want to stop.
Yeah,
this.
it's
Another
like
day
It's
far
like
away.
it's like
on
it's
the
like
Outlook
it's like another
calendar.
arbitrary day. That's like just it's 4 days away instead of 8 days away. It's like
This is
okay.
when I
I
used
just
the
never
scheduling
realized-
assistant in Outlook, and this is when everybody was available.
I never realized gangs were so good at logistics.
They're not.
I mean, but they've got their schedule. Like gangs are very regimented in their schedule.
They're scheduled,
apparently.
but not well.
Yeah.
Well, there's like I know particularly one gang has one guy that's in charge of it all. It's the crypt keeper. No, okay.
No. Damn it. Yeah. So what this sets in motion is, of course, Ninja Assassin, because he's always wherever he needs to be. You know, he's basically Jason Statham in whichever Furious 7.
What,
where
right
like he
flip-flops?
literally, where anything happens, he literally shows up right then. That's
Okay.
how this guy is.
All right.
Like anything that's happening, he is there to observe it happening, and just magically is in the right place, right time, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he sees her, and then the next scene, I guess, or close to it, is her coming up to meet at the councilman's office.
Yeah, so they've gone and like had the sex now, and they're
Yeah.
whatever. They're a couple, but she gives the like, you don't own me.
No, but
my
I'm
own
saying
person.
the informant goes up there.
Yeah. Oh right, yes. I don't know why the informant goes up there, but yeah, she's gone up
it's
there.
It's not
and,
really explained why she goes up there, but
Yeah,
Yakuza guy, like the assassin, immediately murders her. We know
they were passing her number around because like that was like, remember when they finished having the sex, she was like, I'm gonna go. I think I left my dad's pocket watch up my ass at the councilman's office,
Right.
and also I dropped my gun. I probably should pick that up. So she has a reason to go there. That's why she's going there. She gives him Rita's number to call. So I don't know if he was like, go meet her there. Whatever.
Yeah.
We will never
But
know.
Rita's dead when she arrives, and then everyone jumps to the conclusion of like, clearly you killed her.
Well, yeah. The other, the
shithead
racist cop, who's actually not crooked, is basically like
he's racist, but he's honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
but yeah, she's
This is
like
why people voted for Trump.
Yeah, but she's like she turns around. She's like, she finds her friend, the informant, and then like disturbs the crime scene because like closes her eyes and moves the sheet and does all this other stuff, and then suddenly asshole cop's there and he's like, you did it, we know you did it. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because she's about to call the police, and he's like, drop that phone. And he's like, we know you did it, because she was holding your pocket watch in her hand.
Right. And this is something we didn't mention, that the assassin had snuck up to them in the night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And stole her pocket watch.
And murdered the bird.
Murdered the
There was
bird.
Birder.
And
was that
also,
bird supposed to be like the canary in the coal mine thing? Like once evil got too close to it,
Well,
the bird
I
died?
think so.
It's
I think so.
it's a bad name they gave the bird if it's going to die.
Yeah.
But I mean, because the bird's name was Rasputin, and the bird should have just come back at the end and been like, "Squawk, bitches!"
Yeah.
Well, and that's how Mako knew he was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, he was here.
And but
that's
he also
also-
did some magic over her, perhaps.
Okay.
No, he does some weird.
He does something where
He
she
does the
rolls
moving
over.
of hands above her, and then she rolls over like, "Ooh, evil! Better roll away from this." I don't know that it ever had any consequence.
Not that, but yeah, but he does take the pocket watch and then leaves.
Right.
And from there, when she goes up there, she gets caught by the other cop, and then the second cop, who we haven't really talked about at all, but he's just kind of been around the precinct in the background.
Yeah, he's just kind of the guy that she rolls her eyes to whenever this guy says something super racist to. The other guy says something super racist, and he's like, "I know, I'll get it on it,"
Yeah. He's kind of nondescript,
Basically.
but yeah, you cut to an outside shot, you hear two gunshots, because Don the Dragon Wilson has, when Mako said, "Oh, he was here, I know it," and then he goes, "The pocket watch." So then he knows to go to her. As he's getting there, he's trying to run up into the building. We hear the gunshots, and then cut back to that room, and the asshole honest cop is on the floor, dead. And the other guy's like, "And he's dead with your gun. Don't you know there's a lot of money in guns? That's why we're bad guys who do guns. And also, I'm going to explain a lot of this.
Right.
But first," and then Ninja Assassin shows up again. And
I think he waits for like Don to show up. And,
Well,
like,
it's
gives him another like, "Oh, you're crippled" blow, and then here, watch this.
it is implied that he hypnotizes her and,
Yeah.
has his way with her.
It's vaguely implied, like her shirt's undone.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of clothing still on, but it's...
It's sort of implied, but not heavily enough for it to be
yeah.
super gross. Just mostly gross.
It's 90% gross.
Mostly gross.
It's probably 95%. It's
Yeah.
it's really gross. But anyway,
I mean, it's getting
Anyway.
the Dracula myth much more spot on. You know?
yeah, it really it is a very Dracula thing.
Yeah.
It's Dracula-esque. if
It's
you will.
to make rape more palatable.
Gross.
Yeah.
But yes, so Don finally gets to them, and they're like at the top of the stairs, and they have the whole thing where he's like, I know how to stop you," and he's like, you're never going to stop me. You're a piece of shit, Don the Dragon Wilson, and you're not going to be able to save her either, because she sucks, and I've already had my way with her. How you like that? And then he's like, just let her go. This is between us. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll let her go. And he gives her the death touch jab and chucks her at him.
Yeah, he seems to give her a slightly slower release version than he gave some other people, though, because she, like, runs back upstairs and looks out the window and is like, oh, no, the other cop, like, Michael Ironside's here now and stuff. And then she's like, oh, I feel woozy. But somehow they still managed to, like, get out of the building and get back to Mako.
They are getting off the elevator as Michael Ironside is getting on the other one.
Oh, okay.
And then the next scene, and then the next scene is them back at Mako's house. Yeah. And Mako's like, I can't heal her. Only you can do the healing. You have the touch.
You have the power.
Yep. So he does the touch over where she got death jabbed and heals her, I guess, kind of.
Yes.
She's still got to take time to recover.
But it doesn't take that much time.
No, it doesn't take that much time. But yeah, then Don's like, all right, time to shut the shit down. And he's, when he gets outside, like, he's basically been going back and forth with the FBI guy. Like, it's weird because you're never really sure what's going on. Like, the FBI guy, like, the way he plays everything is very coded as, yeah, I'm a bad guy. You're just waiting for me to be a bad guy.
Yes. I mean, because if you've ever seen a movie, he shows up. It's like, here's my card. Call me if you need me. I'll be gone for most of the rest of the movie, but I'll show up in the third act to reveal that I was working with the bad guys the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, which is exactly what
also,
happens.
apparently, he's they just call him a Fed. I mean, they do not directly say he's with the FBI, but, I mean, if you call someone a Fed and they show up at a police office, but apparently he doesn't deal with gang warfare or terrorists, so I'm not sure what FBI he works with, but...
Me either.
Because, I mean, I think terrorism's kind of very much their bag.
Yeah.
But domestic, anyway.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
I mean,
who knows which agency he's with, but he's, surprise.
Oh, right.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, big shock. And so they start tying up Don Wilson, and that's when the evil ninja comes back out, and he's like, oh, I'm going to have some fun torturing you. I'm going to take my time killing you. And
yeah, until he summons up all the Don strength to just break through the duct tape or whatever's holding him.
Yeah, he breaks through the duct tape and starts fighting. And then this, like, triggers everyone to start fighting.
Yes.
That's in there. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone goes nuts. People are just beating the hell out of each other.
I don't know who most of those other people are that are fighting.
I mean, I guess it kind of feels like it's the two gangs because, like, the one gang guy who he came to Don at the house when I don't know if he heard that the lady detective had been death jabbed or what.
Well, that and Rita was dead. I mean,
it was the Rita thing. That's right.
Yeah.
And he's like, we found her number in her pocket. She just didn't want the war to happen, and she was going to have my baby.
Who's going to check the meters now?
Yeah, and all that. So he's like, you got till this time to stop this, because if they're armed, we have to be armed. So whatever happens after that happens.
Right.
But I guess he follows Don there, because suddenly he's there, like, capping dudes.
Yeah, I don't understand the players in this fight scene.
It's not a well-made movie.
No, it is not.
But I do, like, I will, I gotta say, I have a super soft spot for, like, 90s, but especially, I would just say, like, Jackie Chan and other Asian-influenced movies' depiction of gangs. I fucking love it. Like the further you get from, like, actual gangs, the more, like, neon colorful, like, like overall wearing bullshit. Like, when that guy showed up in the Oshkosh B'goshes, I was just like, oh my god, I love this movie, because, like, anytime I see shit like that, I'm like, I don't know why, I just love, like, that version of gang culture from the 90s. It's hilarious to me.
Like the gang culture as represented by homies, which you could buy in the
yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about those things.
Sort of like the other version of Bratz.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, I forgot all about that shit.
Forgot about homies?
Yeah, I did.
Forgot about homies.
Yeah. Can't
Always
forget about
remember
the
your
homies.
homies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pour one out for them.
Yeah, R.I.P. Little Saint. But yeah, deep cut.
I think I've made so many other jokes that I forgot what the actual character's name was.
It was Little Saint.
Yeah, because, I mean, we've done, like, R.I.P. Lil Peep, or like... Lil Peep was an actual person.
Lil Peep.
Yeah. I think I did that because I was like, it was so close to, like, our Big Bird, Tweety Bird, and Little Peep. Like, it was, I was like, I wanted an R.I.P. Little Peep with Tweety Bird.
That's another, do people understand what the fuck we're talking about?
Oh,
okay, listen up, kids. go to your local flea market, look for the airbrush booth, and look for the RIP tribute airbrush things that have a Tweety bird or
just an airbrush picture of the person themselves.
Tasmanian devil.
Do these still exist?
They do. I didn't see one last time I went to the flea market. I didn't see it, so I think they're dying off. But I
hope so.
It was a very hot day, and I didn't walk the whole thing. But,
well, if any of our listeners out there are still flea market frequenters,
well, once I get an airbrush, once I start painting with an airbrush, I will start making you T-shirts.
Okay. Well, I would like to encourage our listeners to
visit flea markets.
Visit flea markets because they're grand places. They're wonderful. And also, please send us photos of any airbrushed RIP little Tweeties that you see.
Yeah.
If you can take a picture respectfully.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean it is an RIP, so be respectful.
Even better if it's RIP in peace, little tweet. Yeah. I mean, I will love that forever.
I know the trend went away from the airbrush to window decals for a while.
Oh yeah.
So I'd like to know if the airbrush is back in.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to know that my life is honored on the back of a Toyota Tercel at some point.
You could bet your buns, buddy. I got you. I will both wear the T-shirt and put it on the back of my.
I think for a long time, I ironically wanted to be a vinyl decal on somebody's car, but yeah, I'm realizing my life would be best served on a T-shirt.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It pretty much encompasses everything about me, as mostly the main article of clothing I've worn throughout my adult life.
Well, and if they have to sell the car, like
underwear.
How would you feel scraping off the Harlow Memorial from?
That's true. If you're trading in the car,
yeah, you've bought.
I'm not going to do it.
You bought a used Ford Festiva, and it's got, R.I.P. Little Harlow over it.
I know. Like I said, there's part of me that wants that glory. That's the uncomfortableness that I want.
I'll put you on the side window. How's that?
An angel got his wings. A devil got his horns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. I wonder if I could have a memorial over a door that's one of those little dingy dings when you come in the door, and it just has a little plaque. It's every time someone comes in this door, a Harlow gets its wings.
I'll do what I can. This is becoming a lot. I got a T-shirt and a decal, and now I got a bell.
Yeah,
I can get you two.
All right.
I can get you two out of those.
So yeah, Don kills him.
Pretty much. He wins the fight. He learns the power of the glow.
Yeah,
he death jabs him. Mm-hmm. Death jab for cutie.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Donnybrook with these color coded gangs that all fight each other. Yeah, and they eventually he gets outside and they've both ripped their shirts off and they're like, it is time to fight, and so they do a lot of jumping back and forth and fighting, and eventually they're both kind of just grappling. And the Yakuza guy hops out of a van and is about to stab him, and that's when she shows up and shoots Yakuza guy, kills him for good. And then the other guy is like, fuck. And he's able to grab Don the Dragon Wilson and start strangling him, but Don's able to strangle him at the same time. And then eventually Don over-strangles. He wins the strangle-off. And
it was kind of like an arm wrestling contest. It just seemed like whoever was on top of the strangle was going to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
over the top.
But so he's on the ground, unconscious, because she makes him stop. She doesn't want him to kill him.
Right.
So he doesn't.
Right.
So he's on the ground, and so they hug, and of course he gets up, and then Don is able to dodge him and then gives him the death punch, or the death poke.
Death jab. Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I he
feel
basically says what he told him when he killed his partner.
Yeah. First you're going to vomit, then you're going to, I don't know, whatever else is hokey. And
it's
then
just a jump to the left and then a step to the right.
Yeah, there's going to be pain and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Right.
But
I think we skipped over that the assassin dude also has magic ninja smoke that he can summon.
So much magic ninja smoke.
And in fact, during the final fight, I mean, it's most prominent in the final fight because he tries to escape via a magical ninja smoke, and this is the first time we see that. Well, I'm sorry, the second time because he extinguished a candle earlier. Big whoop, but
he has
but part of his little thing is
Kyle.
He's kind of got a Hadouken wind power.
I mean he literally does a Hadouken.
Yeah. I mean that's how Mako starts it is he gets a Turon fireball pose, but he does I mean the If you're watching the live stream, the very dark screenshot is from him about to do the Hadouken that dissipates the smoke, so he's able to. But it not only does it dissipate the smoke, it actually hits the guy too. Like he does like a, and so he's like,
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
he does like a little twist, and the guy's
it's
like,
a 1-2. It's a little it's a little
first the
little
smoke,
smoke dissipation and then a Hadouken.
R.I.P. Little Smoke.
Yep. And that's how he gets him.
The end.
Is he's used that, and then everyone's happy. Life is
Nothing
good.
bad.
Well, he goes back to
happens.
Kyoto.
Yeah, and we'll note Michael Ironside shows up at the crazy Donnybrook and is like, "Haha! I knew you were bad. I fucking hate feds," and because the feds like, "Oh yeah, we're just about to bust all these guys," and he's like, "Bullshit, you were," and he basically hits him with the butt of a gun, knocks him out. But also the Fed ends up killing the cop who had. The other cop,
right?
Basically shoots him in the back as Don the Dragon Wilson uses him as the human shield, and
Worst superhero ever.
yeah.
I mean, he's really great once. Really great once.
He's heroic exactly once.
R.I.P. Little Shield.
Listen, true believers, he was a Secret Service agent, and that's it.
Yeah. So her name is cleared because Ironside has made it clear that he rooted out all the crooked cops and he figured everything out, and all is good. And and then there's just like them hanging out at a party at the end, and now they're great together. And
and now he's going to leave.
Yeah, and Ironside now has both of Mako's ladies are his ladies, apparently, somehow.
Are they the same ladies?
I'm pretty sure they were, but I could be right. I don't care.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
No. There are a couple, or there's at least one playmate credited in the.
Of course there is.
In the credits.
I think it was in the fighting sequence though. Like that was all the fighters being listed out. Yes.
That was a like special thanks to all these special folks.
I think that was the fighting section.
It wasn't like the stunt. It wasn't the stunt players.
Well, it wasn't this. I mean, I think it was like these are all the fighters and their qualifications because I always said creditifications, which isn't a word. But yeah. But I was like, does Playmate make you a fighter?
It's a kind of fighting.
Oh, okay. Like, is that how you get to, like, there's, like, way more than 12 Playmates, and they all have to get in a room, and it's like whoever comes out on top. It's all right, you're June.
It's a... I'm not... It's a kumite, but different.
That's what it's spelled with a C.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that was just, like, special
They can't see me shaking my head.
But it's happening.
All right.
But, yeah, I think that was just a special recognition section of the credits.
Okay.
I don't think it was like, hey, this is...
I thought,
Fisticuff champion Jesse LaLanne, June 1997, Playmate of the Year.
Yeah, like long walks on the beach and breaking multiple planks with wood with her head.
And snapping dudes' necks.
Yeah.
Snapping necks and cashing checks. Mm-hmm. It's the Playmate lifestyle. So, movie's over. As you have heard by the
almost
credits.
a Stargrove, but not.
It's a generic use of the title song.
Yeah.
That's
but not
very,
specific,
very
not
tenuous at
enough.
best about lost ships in the night. Blah, blah,
it
blah,
is
blah,
not
blah.
specific enough to be a Stargrove.
If it had said something more about like like our love was built on slightly beyond casual racism, then then it would be my a little bit more Stargrove.
Our love overcame our xenophobia, but no,
xenophobic warrior princess.
She is the least cool one.
We're coming up with some pretty fucking awful superheroes.
Yeah.
Woof.
We should rate
it. Yeah.
I didn't come up with that. It was actually a Bo Burnham joke, so I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not taking credit.
Oh, you fucking thief.
Man.
Yeah.
I'll
go.
rate it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, you never go first. So
I rarely do.
Yeah.
I can only give this one. Look, Don the Dragon kicks ass. This is known, but there's not enough ass kicking for this movie. It's just not enough, right? It's not enough of anything. I don't feel like anything they're doing really works, except for except for our evil ninja assassin being sort of menacing, it's just none of it's really doing it for me. Like I said, the fight scenes don't land, the humor doesn't land, the drama doesn't land, the parallel plots don't land, and it's not really all that fun. So it's just like, yeah, you can miss this one. It's not bad enough to turn away. Like if somebody, I don't know, if I was 593 episodes into a bad movie podcast, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I guess we can watch this.
What else are we gonna watch?
Yeah. Yeah, what jocks?
Yeah, I'm a bit higher than that.
You're always way higher than me.
Okay, perhaps. I got that. Unlike everyone else in this movie with every other thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think this would probably be a Two Jocks movie if it didn't have ninja magic in it. The ninja magic for me, I like ninja magic. Like, I didn't want to like loudly declare because I don't want to start like changing people's opinions while we're watching the movie. But the first time the ninja smoke showed up, I was like, that is +1 jocks right there. Like in my head, I was like, whatever else happens,
I should have known.
I like the first time ninja smoke happened, I was like, that's whatever else happens. Like there's fucking actual ninja smoke in this, like in a live action thing, and
It happened two or three times.
Batman. I mean,
it's pretty good.
So I, you know, it feels weird to give this movie 3 jocks, but like that's almost where I'm talking myself into.
That's fair. I mean, you got to go with your heart, buddy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just like
don't
I like
apologize
that. Like,
to me
like honestly,
for this.
I will be completely honest. When I asked what we were watching, that's how in the know I am sometimes. And your first thing was it's a Don the Dragon Wilson movie. My first thought was fuck, because I mean he's just like, yeah. I mean he's not quite Gary Daniels, you know, like like level of like
He's like what Dudikoff was in the 80s. He is in the 90s.
Yeah. He's like
whereas like he's in all right movies, but he's not the
reason
the
why
best part of it.
Yeah.
He's serviceable as the lead, but I don't know, like, but like the little other parts, I don't know. I kind of liked. I don't know, like it's even though like I'm not saying I like the character or like this never needed to be written. There is a certain weirdness of a joy, sort of like Nichelle Nichols and Chuck Turner, where it's just like, here I am watching a Star Trek person just be racist for no fucking reason, where I'm just like, this is weird, and like, I'm kind of stretched, like not delighted, but just like, what the fuckness of it, you know, like, take that fucking sweater off for Kelly. You don't expect Uhura to fucking say that, you know, so it's just like, I'm saying, like, there was some weird joy where I'm just like, this doesn't make sense, and Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek, so I'm just saying, like, there's a weird factor of this, of like, I'm kind of enjoying this. So yeah, I'm going to land at 3 jocks. It feels generous, but there's where I am.
Yeah, it's a little generous. I'm at 2 jocks, so I kind of fell right in the middle between you guys. It's fun, I think. It doesn't linger too long on anything, which I kind of like. Like, it keeps moving pretty well, even though there's like, because there's almost too much plot. But I really wish that the bad guy's death had been drawn out a little more.
Sure.
Because like even all you had to do is like he gives him the death punch and then he just kind of like collapses. Like let him try and take a few steps towards him or something. You know, do something else with it instead of just having him collapse and be like, okay, you won.
Or even better, like, you know, the light power is totally different. Like, I don't know, his fucking head explodes or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like something to denote that like he has the opposite
just
power.
Fucking vaporizes him.
Yeah. Or like his eyes, you know, like light up and sizzle because that's where the evil was.
Yeah.
So, you know,
rotoscoping.
I'm just saying, like, you
yeah,
know,
they had rotoscoping budget for the tips of 2 fingers, and that was it.
Nah, have him like Raiders Nazi and the light comes out of the eyes and stuff.
Oh, that'd be great, but it's not happening.
Nope. But yeah, that's just because I probably would be at 3 if they had done something better with that guy's death.
Sure.
But otherwise, I mean, like, you know, a car gets blown up with a rocket launcher.
It's pretty good.
So
it's pretty good. Yeah.
Sign me up, man. Every time.
Yeah.
Which we've established not enough times.
Never enough times.
Yep.
Only 476 or whatever I said.
Ugh, too few.
So speaking of segues, why don't you give us a call on the Garfield phone at 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263, or email us, bmf@bmfcast.com. Tell us about all of your RIP little Tweety Bird encounters that you have this coming weekend at the
Tuscaloosa State
Tuscaloosa State
flea market,
world's largest flea market.
I don't know why Tuscaloosa would have a state flea market, but
Alabama's weird, man.
And join the Discord. Go in our Airbrush little RIP channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, Discord is locked right now.
Are we locked again?
I believe. I thought we were.
I think we're still.
But yeah,
locked.
just send us an email if you want in.
Yeah, email us bmf@bmfcast.com if you want to hang out.
Yeah,
we're nice.
Yeah.
But we also have to prevent like the fucking Nazi furries from overloading,
very
overrunning.
Weird. Like it was not unexpected.
It was a bad day.
It wasn't. It wasn't the most fun day we've had. But.
Yes, defer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also check out the website bmfcast.com. That's where archive of all the stuff is there. And if you feel like giving us money and you have some to spare, patreon.com/bmfcast helps us keep the lights on, keeps the servers up. And we just had to pay Bluehost some money recently, and
yeah, it's never fun. But that's where we keep an archive of basically everything that wasn't the main show.
Yes,
is there. So even defunct shows like No Pretense of Cool, the Futurama one I did, the Doctor Who one, all that, we don't delete anything off of there. So if you join, it's all there.
Yeah, you can get.
So yeah, you can really fill up an RSS feed with all of that.
Yeah. You can fill up your iPod with many hours of content if you wish.
Yeah, stuff your iPod Mini with many hours of
with many podcasts.
It would be like your iPod stuck on replay. Anywho, let's get out of here, shall we?
Okie dokie.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ. And this is BMFcast out. Goodbye. I almost forgot that I have to say that.
Why would you forget?
I don't know, because I'm an idiot.
Also, get well, Chuck.
Or else.
Yeah.
Also, hello, Kyle, and hello, Steve, like the bird.
Hi, Steve. I want to go visit the Eiffel Tower, Steve. Let's go get some baguettes, Steve.
Have you seen the new tapas place on level 6, Steve? It's very romantic, Steve. Deep cuts.
That's our Stitches/Fic.
Yes. I'm going to turn this fucking light off because I'm tired of blinking and seeing 87 rings in my vision.
Ah! Yeah, I can see Don Wilson again now.
Nice.
It was so bright I couldn't see anything.
Cool.
Holy shit! How did I miss you guys saying that title?
What?
You didn't hear that?
No, I didn't hear
God.
that. I don't know how I didn't hear that when somebody said it.
What title? When?
Death Jab for Cutie.
Oh.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's good.
No, I need to make a thing of it now.
I'm trying to remember to send you them as they occur and or I think of them. Yeah. Death Jab for Cutie. We're gonna get sued by sad boys.
Well, you can reach us via the Postal Service.
I have to lawyer up.
You will see us suing from such great heights.
We're poor now. I fucking love the Postal Service.
I just aren't they like? Isn't there like one person that's like in both bands? Like, isn't there some connection between Death Cab and Postal Service?
Oh, there could be. I have no idea.
I think there is.
I know.
Want to say
I
it's
know
like
literally
I
nothing
want to say
about
it's like
Death
a
Cab.
Weezer Rentals situation, like where it's
could
like
be.
there's maybe one or more members in both.
Let's look it up.
Or maybe it's another band. I could be thinking.
Cab and they toured together.
Oh, well, it'd be easier if the same people are. But no.
Okay, there's at least one guy that's in common with Death Cab and Postal Service. Well done.
Thank you. Obscure early 2000s
Nice.
trivia. It still sometimes sticks in there.
Hey, y'all remember when Owl City came out with that one song? And that was the only good thing that they did?
Owl City.
Yeah. The 10,000 Fireflies.
Owl
song.
I
City?
remember somebody telling me that, and then I listened to that song. I was like, I don't like that song.
That's fine.
I don't even know what song you're talking. Is this a new thing?
No, it's very old.
Owl City? Like,
Owl City.
as in,
yeah,
like
hoot.
well,
Yeah.
they don't really make noise when they fly,
Right.
but you know,
Yes.
if they did,
As
be,
in
it'd be like a
Hooterville.
yeah, like Hooters. It's an owl sanctuary.
Yeah.
I know that's Catherine Ryan's
Well,
joke.
just like,
She says all
just
the
like
time.
a lot of people tell me,
stealing
like,
everybody's jokes.
they're like M83 is really good. All their songs are good, and I'm like, that one song is good.
I think I know which song you're talking about.
Oh,
I think
you
I
know
agree
which
with
song
you.
I'm talking about, but and that song's fucking awesome, and I have not liked anything else that they've made.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
And
if I
I've
know
tried.
what song you're talking about.
Did you ever hear
Midnight City is the name of the song.
Yeah. Yep. Do you ever hear? You've heard "Lights" by Ellie Goulding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, one good song. She
Yeah.
has no other good songs.
Yeah.
That
I
song
don't
is
know
a
that one
fucking banger, though.
Yeah.
I don't think I know that song either.
That's pretty good. You should
Okay.
listen to it.
All right.
Was it her that had the song at the end of Mirror's Edge?
Dude, I don't
And I
know.
don't think it was Lights, but it was some other Ellie Goulding song. Which I'm the only person who finished Mirror's Edge,
You are.
the first one, and then played it again.
Are you the only person who finished any Mirror's Edge?
Probably.
Yeah, I thought so.
I mean, I actually really liked that,
I know.
but I made it really hard because I did the whole
Did you do the no violence run or the
Yeah.
no guns run?
yeah.
Yeah.
I did the no guns run and completed it. Back in the days when I could do that shit.
Right, when you had time.
No, it wasn't even that. Like I had coordination. Like now I play games and I'm just like, wow, I can't do any of this shit anymore. Like I used to be able to, and
I haven't
gone.
lost that yet.
really,
Just my drive to want to play anything. Like
yeah,
I'm just in something to, like I just see through everything now. Where it's like I just want a game that is like a game that is made and not like to further be capitalized on. You know, like it's.
Have you played Hollow Knight?
I didn't care for Hollow Knight.
Really?
I wanted to. Like I like games like that. I just didn't. I
God,
didn't like that. And I
'cause-
didn't like Shovel Knight either. I know that people like that.
I
I know
d-
they're not similar.
I
but,
do not like Shovel Knight
Yeah, I'm just
at
saying,
all
like,
either.
Like you know, they're not similar games. I just
But-
mean the night games that people were raving
Like
about.
to me, Hollow Knight is like a fucking masterpiece.
I liked it.
It's so
It's
good.
just it was one of those like it. I think I played it and it hit that. I was like, oh, that got real hard, real fast.
it does
Like,
get hard.
It was just like Ori. Like I was like super into the Ori games, and all of a sudden you hit a point. It's like do 18 moves in a row to perfectly jump up here. It's like no, I don't.
Yeah.
No, like you've lost my interest now. Like that's too much.
Yeah, I can understand that
Yeah.
for sure. You know what you should do? You should play Metroid Prime again.
I never played Metroid Prime the first time, so.
You should play Metroid Prime, then,
Dude.
according to
I've-
Mackie.
Actually, I mean,
I've
I've only ever. I mean, this is gonna be really bad. The only Metroid I've ever played is the first one. I've
Very
never
first
even
one?
played. I've never even played Super Metroid, or any of the other ones.
Prime is really good. Like the vibe
Okay.
of the whole, just exploring this dead planet is really cool.
You know what? In reinstalling GTA, mostly to play online, some of the single player stuff, I realized what I should have probably done was just reinstall Saints Row 4, because I think that might just be my perfect open world. Like, I really
So
just.
you're a 4/3 guy?
Oh, absolutely. Give
Okay.
me the fucking superpowers any day of the week.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, 100%. Like, I wanted all of that. Like, super jump, super everything,
Yeah.
jump, leap. Yeah, that shit was awesome.
That's the one where it's like a simulation and it gets
Yeah.
glitchy and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, you have
pretty
superpowers because you're in the Matrix, basically.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like yeah, that's my vibe.
I can't remember if we were still doing no quarters at the point where I went back and found the last agility orb in Crackdown, and I don't
think
know
so.
why, but I was just bored, and like I checked, and the first one I got was in like October of 2007, and then the last one was like earlier. It was either last year or the year before, and I was like, do you realize like in that span of time, a child would have been like in college. Like there were a child who was born the moment I got my first agility orb would be in high school at the time I found my last one, and
Yeah.
like George W. Bush was still president. Like
The world was different back then.
it was fucking weird.
I
Yeah, the 360 was only like a year and a half old.
I know.
Maybe 2 years old.
so Crackdown. What was it that came?
Wasn't it the
Pack-
Halo 3 demo.
was
Halo
on it.
3 demo.
That's
Yeah,
why it's
the
sold
Halo
it all.
3 multiplayer demo.
and I think I went and bought a used copy to try to get the, or something.
Oh, but the demo had expired, hadn't it?
Something like that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, actually, Crackdown fucking rules. Cool.
Yeah, I got it for Crackdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, no, this game looks fucking awesome, and
I've never played a Halo game since, by the way.
I never touched 4 or 5. Or...
Who gives a shit about it?
I had that Master Collection moment when I was like, I'm going to do fucking everything in this. And I did a lot of it. And then it's still like, you've still got 4,000 achievements left. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this.
Was Halo 4 even part of that?
Yes.
Yes. I never
Halo
touched 4.
It's not good.
I never touched 4.
Don't
definitely
bother
never
playing
touched 5,
4.
for sure.
Yeah, I started 5, and then it was
3
like
is the only one I ever played all the way through. Like, to be honest with you, I know I played a lot of 1 because my brother and I, like, when we got the Xbox, just sat and played Halo for like 24 straight hours or something stupid. But yeah, but I don't know if we finished it.
I like the remastered one, but 1 is very much like, all right, you got through the level, now go back. Like, there's a lot of just complete recycling. Like, the next level is, you're going through this level, but you're going the other direction now. And it's like, eh. 2 has some of the best levels, but like it's all nonsense, like story wise. Like there's nothing tying any of it together. Yeah. And then it just ends.
Is 2 the one with the big Warthog drive at the end, or is that 3?
I think it's 3.
3
ends with a big giant Warthog.
Actually, 1 does as well. I don't believe 2 does.
1 or 3's like the whole thing is collapsing while you're on it, right? Like
that's the one I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of.
1 and 3 both
Which
had
is cool
Warthog levels at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 it just had a
is 2 the one
really fucking hard level at the end.
You sometimes play as the Arbiter. Is that the one where it switches? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 5 you also switch between some other dude and Master Chief. And it's not. I never finished it because I just. No.
Yeah, I mean, they made a whole fucking Halo TV series that nobody watched.
Yeah, and
we had Red versus Blue.
And what's the new one? Halo Infinite. That had a single player thing in it too, didn't it?
Oh, does it? Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't know. I'm so off the Halo. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was never really on it to begin with, so yeah.
I had that span of time for about 6 months where I was like, I'm going to play the shit out of this. And it also didn't help that like Xbox One just didn't have much else out then.
Yeah,
like.
Oh, you mean the 1, not the original, the OG Xbox? Like you mean with the Master Chief Collection?
Yeah.
Man, what a confusing line of video game consoles they made.
Yep. They didn't do it right. But it brought Game Pass into the world, and Game Pass is pretty fucking good until they start charging like $35 a month for it, which...
It's coming.
Still keep waiting for that to happen. I'm not trying to make it happen, but...
Expecting it.
And you can't even like buy good pass. Like I had to start doing my monthly subscription thing, like the monthly renewal. I'm like, oh man, that hurts because I had bought, like we all did. I think we just kept stocking up on year-long Xbox Live passes. Yeah. Like there was a point where mine like this was in like 2010s where it was like, this will expire in 2021. Like I had built up so many.
And you can still sort of do that if you just have to jump through hoops to do it.
Yeah.
So, if you're broke, there are ways to do it. It's still just a pain in the ass.
The thing is, they keep changing like the reward system too, like what you can redeem it for. Because for a while, I wasn't playing for Ultimate. I was just doing enough of the surveys and shit that every month it was paid for. I mean, and that's what I was using my money for. But they dropped that as an option, and then so like. I think they did away with the auto redeem altogether because like I had like 14,000 points sitting there and I was like, why haven't I gotten a gift card yet? And
you've been binging a lot, man.
Yeah, they must have taken that away. You're right.
Yeah,
because mine has sat for God knows how long.
But no, that's why I did the GTA Plus because I was like, I have $10 that's about to expire and I don't have anything else I'm going to buy. So
yeah.
I love that they make you think that like they're giving you a deal on the shark cards if you have Plus, but if you look, it's like normally like I'm just gonna make up some numbers. Let's say the $1 million one is like normally like the $10 card, but if you look, it's like without Plus, it's $8.99 and gets you 1 million credits. With Plus, it's $9.99 and gives you 1 million credits plus like another 200,000 bonus or something. It's like it's also $1 more, guys. Like you did charge more. Like it's not really a deal. Like you weren't really giving us anything, and plus we're paying more for months. Like that's not a deal, guys. Do you understand? It should be the same price.
Yeah,
with
it's
more.
like a lot of the Amazon stuff where, the price, like if you look at it right now, it's $50.
Yeah.
And then when it's the Black Friday sale, they'll say, oh, it's 50% off. And it'll be $50, but they'll say that the price was $100.
Yep.
Yeah. Fucking worst.
The enshittification of literally everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to find one of the things in GTA Online that makes money kind of sort of passively, and I've not found it. I mean, I think the thing is like
Doesn't it have a stock market?
there is. Well, no, that's in the single player. I don't think you can do the stock market in
okay.
the online. But that's the other thing is like it's shitty because like this stuff should be in the single player game to like continue to make money with those guys. But like there is literally a point where it's like, unless you just get lucky, like guessing on the start market, there's like no further way to make money in a single player game at a certain point. Like you've done all the heists. There's no, like you can't just rob random stores. You can go, kill random people and pick up like $50 at a time. But what the hell is that going to get you? It's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like there's.
And if you die, you lose 5,000. So you erased
right.
all those people.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's a point where it's like the casino that's on online should be in the single player to at least let me like go try to make money there or something. But it's like all the shit that's on online should be in single player too, like all the random convenience stores and shit that you can.
That
rob.
is what I had to tell my my sister-in-law. I'm like, if you're letting them play GTA, do not let them play GTA Online. Just don't.
Yeah.
Because there's like actual gambling in it, basically.
Is there?
Well, I mean, the casino is,
Oh, okay.
and if you've bought that shit with real money,
I suppose, yeah. I guess I've never done that bad at the casino in that game.
Yeah.
I think the thing about like video game casinos is like I have zero like fear of losing the money, so I think when you remove fear, gambling becomes a lot easier. Like I'm just saying, like if you're like whatever max bet, oh I lost, who gives a fuck? Like
that's why. What was it? Poker night at the
Pinati.
Telltale Poker Night or whatever.
The inventory.
Yeah, Poker Night at the Inventory. That's what it was. Like that one was cool for the interactions, but the actual poker, you're just like, I don't care.
Right.
Like who cares if I win or lose? Yeah. I can just go in literally all in every hand.
There are no like gambling games anymore. Like there's like the casino and GTA Online is like one of the only fucking. I mean, I know there's like website things where you can go do actual gambling, but there aren't just like. Hoyle's Casino
like Phil Rizzuto's
2023.
Poker Casino,
I mean, I'm just saying, like, there used to be like Hoyle's Casino 2020 would come out every year, and it's like, oh, okay, I can go play slots and roulette with fake money and no harm done.
Yeah.
I love that shit. That was great idle fodder for me, but that's all gone.
Well, now you can play the Buffalo slots online.
Okay.
I get ads from all the time.
Oh, I've honestly probably sat for like 3 hours playing blackjack in GTA Online just because I like playing blackjack. And
Well,
it's the same thing as like playing fucking
the king will always be
and
Liar's Dice.
Far Cry 4 or whatever it was.
Liar's
so
Dice
much
in
fucking
Red
Dominoes.
Dead.
Actually, it's in 5.
Yeah, Liar's Dice is pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, Dominoes and fucking Far Cry. I sat and played. I think I played more Dominoes in that than I did the actual like killing of Giancarlo Esposito. Just saying, it's like it's. And that fucking bitch that sits to the left of you, I hate her so much.
I seem to remember you.
Oh, that one of the sits to the left of you, I hate her so much. I can't remember her name, but I hate her.
It's funny. There was a stretch of time where I was watching these slot machine videos while I was working, just because I like slot machines in general.
Okay.
And watching somebody else play them, I'm playing the slots with somebody else's money is essentially what that is for me.
All right.
But I got advertised, and I stopped watching probably 6 months ago. I got advertised nothing but slot machine games for my telephone.
I never stopped the recording. Sorry,
Yep. And I still get very many slot machine advertisements to this day. It is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I'm not saying there aren't.
That's my way of
there aren't like actual gambling things you can do online. Clearly there are. I just mean like the shitty little blackjack games and poker games and all that stuff is gone.
They're all wrapped into our live service games.
Yeah.
Don't forget to play COD Dice this summer in Modern Warfare 2.5.
Oh, thank you.
It just bums me out that the 360 really was like the golden era.
It was the king.
Because there was everything you could want, and then like they had stuff like 1 versus 100, and just like
You shouldn't be bummed because you got to be there and you got to
I know
play it.
it's just like and it didn't sustain. I mean, I understand why plastic instruments died like that. okay, people need room in their house, all that. I get it. I miss it, but I get it. But just all the weird online shit that they had, that they were
You
just
play Rock Band online.
Yeah,
That was wild.
yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, and like Summer of Arcade, it's like, all right, here's a bunch of like $5 games that are all going to be actually good.
Yeah.
$5 and $10 games, and now it's like it became like the Steam marketplace now, where it's just like, all right, 50,000 things come out every week, and we're not going to tell you what any of them are. You're just going to have to find it if a friend happens to play it.
Well, I feel like now it's just like you've got to go to the indie game market and hope you found one that's actually like put together enough to be a solid enough game to play.
Or you just have to hear about it being in early access for the past 4 years.
Yeah, find a YouTuber you like that plays games that you like.
There was one I saw. It's like a $20 game, which isn't a lot to plop down on trying something, but I think it's like something Fugitive. It's like American Fugitive or something like that. But it's like it looked kind of like an open world, like original GTA style game, like top down or isometric, but you could kind of do whatever you wanted to do, like go rob houses or go break into banks and do heists or just whatever it is. Like,
there's one of those weird, how there's that genre of sort of like bizarre life simulators, not necessarily like the job simulator genre, but somewhere in between that and the bizarre life simulators, and it's like a thief simulator, and you have to do B&Es. I wish I could remember it off the top of my head.
Well,
maybe it's just called.
I probably would not have played it were it not for. I mean, sound like doing an ad for Game Pass, but I remember seeing the trailer and being like, that looks like it might be cute, and then it was like, oh, it's also coming on Game Pass, so I will actually try it. But I tried that Arcade Paradise, not a particularly well-made game, but basically it's a dumb little 3D engine-based game, but like you inherit your dad's laundromat. And you basically are secretly turning it into an arcade behind his back with the help of your sister who works at the city planning. And so like you're slowly doing these deals where like you're expanding out the store and pushing the laundry further and further up to the front so that there's less and less of it.
Yeah. Thief Simulator 2 is the one I was thinking of.
But yeah, it's not a particularly well-made game. Like aiming at stuff is not great, but I mean it's kind of fun because like all the games in the arcade you can play and they're little like.
Cute little mini games.
Yeah, cute little mini games. Like there's one that's basically Missile Command, but it's called Communists from Mars. And then there's basically like there's one that's like GTA Pac-Man. It's basically like original GTA with a car, and you're going around and collecting money instead of pellets. And the cop cars are chasing you around, and if they hit you, you don't actually immediately die. You get on foot and you can like run back to your car and stuff. So it's dumb stuff like that.
All right. I am tired.
All right. Good night, Internet.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.